Number one time waster I know. Not me, not me. I'm not saying I'm the number one time waster. I might be the number one time waster. I know. But I wanted to talk about the number one time waster I know currently, which is the idea of rounding up your days. You start a day, the day doesn't go the way you want it to. And then we sit here and we go, tomorrow is going to be better. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. And we do this on even a larger scale with New Year's resolutions. This year was bad. I did nothing. New year, new me, right? New year, new me. Dumbass idea. And the problem with it is it commits a change to happen on a specific day. Now, if you screw up that January 1st, you're screwed. Your whole plan, screwed. Because you wanted the new me to happen on a specific day. And the reason this is a problem is we always have this kind of idea that suddenly we're going to become a new person. Suddenly we're going to feel like this motivated person that's going to power through all these obstacles. I feel this way too. I want to be a better person. I want to be a more productive person. But what I don't understand, and I think what we all don't understand, is being this better person doesn't mean feeling like this better person necessarily. We want to feel and reach a level of elated effortlessness that is associated with being this new person. Suddenly, we don't desire the things that we desired before. If we want, candy or all these kinds of things, and we're like, hey, I'm going to stop candy next year. Suddenly, we don't want candy. Everything is so easy and effortless with just a snap moment. And the truth is, I think we'll never feel that way. There's no such thing as feeling that effortlessness on command. It comes and it goes, and it'll always come and go no matter how healthy or how good your habits are. You're never going to feel that sense of elatedness and effortlessness. Thank you, Oopsie, for the sub. You're never going to feel that elatedness or like effortlessness that you're desiring. That what are all these different things? You're going to wake up, you're going to be productive. There's no such thing as this. This comes and goes. It's not a thing that can consistently be crafted, but we need to keep like pursuing and keep creating these promises in spite of it. So there's basically like a duality I'm noticing between me and everyone else. We have on one hand this ugly, this disgusting, this lazy sloth that we are, being on TikTok or Instagram all day and just parading through trying to see what's going on. And then on the other side, we have this Giga Chad. Oh, this Giga Chad who wakes up at 6 a.m., smiling all the time, getting stuff done. And the truth is, I don't think either of those people are us. We're not either of those people, but we believe, A, that we are the sloth when we do bad things, and B, that a certain thing can turn us into the Giga Chad. We're like, okay, December 31st, I'm going to drink myself to sleep like the sloth, but January 1st, I'm going to wake up at 5:30 a.m. and suddenly become the Giga Chad. And the more I lie to myself every day with this conundrum, being like, oh, I messed up being on TikTok today, I'm going to switch to the Giga Chad tomorrow. The more I lie to myself every day, I realize that this is not true. There's no such thing as the Giga Chad, and there's no such thing as the sloth. And these are concepts in a duality for us to feel like productivity is this effortless transition when it never has been, and it never will be this effortless transition. I think productivity, what makes it kind of scary is it can be picked up at any moment. The whole point of the productivity mindset is there isn't a time to start. There isn't a time to lock back in. It is literally any moment. And it's not, there's no amount of stimulation or mistakes that turn us into the sloth. And there's no amount of perfect routine that can turn us into the Giga Chad. It's just a balance of deciding to switch and deciding to commit. And I think we use this whole like times construct to be like, I want some time to rest right now, but tomorrow I'm going to become the most productive person ever. And it's just none of it's true. And the reason I say this is because recently I've tried this thing that's been working really well, where I'm splitting my days into 3 days. So I'm around sleep for, I'd say, 9 hours. Thank you, Leo Nell, I'm around sleep for 9 hours. I would say probably 9 hours a day, 8 to 9 hours. Thank you, Jack. Wait. Yeah, I'm for 8 to 9 hours I'm asleep, right? And I'm gonna turn this off real quick. 8 to 9 hours I'm asleep. That leaves 15 hours on the table. I split those 15 hours into 5 hours each. There's 3 different days. There's 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., there's 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., and there's 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Now, what this has done for me is it made me turn into the Giga Chad earlier, give me like earlier spaces to turn into I'm going to really lock in at 6 p.m. because it's a new day. And because of that, I've been able to make these shifts to randomly switch into the Giga Chad or randomly switch into like locking in again. But what that also made me realize is this whole time thing that I relied on so much to switch back into productivity mode is a construct. It's not real. And like splitting my day into 3 days helped me realize the structure and the reliance on the system of a day is a scam, or it's just not necessary in itself. You don't have to wait until tomorrow to do something. What's the point of waiting till tomorrow, right? And I think it comes back to this idea of just like taking shortcuts. We try to find the nearest shortcut, but again, there's no time to like start. There's no time to do it. And me playing with the idea of time helped me discover that even deeply. So I think that's all I have, because my mind is like foggy a little bit. And honestly, I'm not even in the best productivity state right now. I've been a sloth for the past 3 hours, dude. I've been a complete sloth. And I'm not in a state anymore where I feel like a Giga Chad. I'm nowhere close. And I think it's just that's how we need to be okay with this. We need to be okay with this like weird purgatory between this super productive person and this sloth. And whatever this feels like, it feels so strange and it feels weird, and we go to comfort to feel perfect. But I think to truly be productive, we need to be really okay in the purgatory, because most of our life is spent in the purgatory between hyperproductivity and complete no productivity. And we desire to either feel like one or the other, There's some days where you just want to lay in bed all day. And that's the desire to be a zero-sum productive person. And there's some days where you want to have everything perfectly done. And I'm realizing both of these sides are toxic. Both of these sides are toxic. And both of them actually are not things we should achieve and strive to be. We should not strive to be hyper-productive, and we should not strive to be not productive. We should strive to be in the purgatory that we exist in most of the time. And our desire to become perfectly productive is actually bringing us farther from productivity at all. It's like our desire to reach heaven is bringing us closer to hell than just being in purgatory, if I were to get the metaphor equated to something. But this ugliness, this weirdness of living days and making mistakes, screwing around, but also getting things done and not letting the mistakes get in the way of what you're trying to get done, that is where most of our life exists. So that is definitely what we need to embrace more than ever. Being okay with not being super productive is actually going to help you not quit on yourself and become not productive at all. Versus what you originally would do is, hey, I was supposed to wake up at 6 a.m. today, and I didn't wake up at 6 a.m. today. Therefore, I messed up my whole day. We're screwed, everybody. We have aimed to become hyper-productive. We have failed to become hyper-productive because I decided to snooze my alarm. It is 7 a.m. right now instead of 6 a.m. I am up, but I didn't get the 6 a.m., so therefore, I'm going to be on TikTok for 6 hours because I messed up my 6 a.m. routine. And I'm going to get up the next day at 6 a.m. Do we understand how crazy that sounds? You're wasting a whole day of work, whole day of powerful time you could be earned because you want to have a 6 a.m. routine and be this hyper productive person. I think a huge part of this productivity is forgiveness, man. Messing up is inevitable. And we need to be okay with messing up, and I need to be okay too, with messing up being inevitable so I can mess up less. Because the mess ups don't become mess ups. If I go on TikTok in the morning and I waste 15 minutes and I spend 1 hour thinking about the 15 minutes I've wasted 1 hour and 15 minutes. If I get on TikTok and waste 15 minutes in the morning, which is inevitable in some cases, I need to get back to work and be like, you know what? It's okay. Most of your life, you're going to be in the purgatory. And this kind of carries on to this idea. I'm trying to understand and wrap my head around the content creation game because I am a content creator. And I'm like, dude, how do I get these mega videos that do super well? And it makes me think, you know what? It is luck. It's not entirely luck because you have to show up every day. But for you to really get that video you want, that is luck, dude. The big moments, luck. For things to work as luck. And then I thought the idea, hey, you can only control how you react to situations. You can't control what the outcome is. And now I understand even to control how you react is luck to an extent as well. How you feel every single day, that's also luck. Not entirely, but it also kind of is. And just like you want to get a viral video, getting yourself in a viral state of elation and productivity is the same thing. You're not going to run across a high, perfect level of productivity every single day. You're not. But you need to change your habits so you can feel that. And some days you're going to catch the shiny Pokemon. Some days you're going to get the viral video. Some days you're going to feel really good. You're going to feel really productive. But we just need to be okay with not being the Giga Chad, not being the hyper-productive guy, not being the guy who wakes up at 6 a.m. every single day. And I think that helps us actually do more of it. It is not a change in person. We are multiple, and we're a complex identity as human beings. You are the Giga Chad right now, and you're the sloth, and you're everything in the middle. And if you sit here and wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow, you have a 30% chance of feeling like the Giga Chad. If you do all the right habits, you have a 30% chance, maybe, of feeling like the Giga Chad you want to feel like. The super effortless, productive person. If you show up to the studio every day to make a song, you have a 30% chance of making a hit. If you upload every single week, you have a 30% chance of making a viral video. Do you understand my point? Even if you do all of the right things from an internal and an external position, there is still a percentage chance you will achieve the internal and external benefits that you desire. Now, everyone knows this for externalities. They know this for anything you're trying to achieve. You ask a million girls out, you'll get a yes. They know this for external results, but people actually don't know this for internal results. They assume that their identity is so incredibly rigid that they can just commit to something and immediately become it. But humans, we are imperfect, creations. If you commit to something, you are doomed and destined to fail a lot of the time because you are a human. And I think I've my whole life tried to fight against that and become this perfect person, this perfect internalized internal systems person that can, at command like a robot, do the same routine every day with no fail. And every single day I've failed. For the past years, I've done things, but I've failed with my plan. I've never achieved my plan. So maybe I don't understand myself well enough if I've been failing for 5 years straight in achieving my schedule. I cannot remember a single day in my life in the past 5 years I have created a schedule for myself and I have followed it to the T. I cannot remember. So what if human beings, what if us as productive beasts, we are not as rigid and straightforward and consistent as we thought. What if we're not even designed to be consistent? That puts out an interesting premise, right? I mean, I could sit here and say I need to record one of these videos every day, but I don't. There's some days I don't record these. And there's some days where I record 5 of these in one day. What if human beings, we are designed to not be consistent? Because based on my failures, every day we feel like we're failing ourselves, I would say that we are destined to not be consistent. The best we can get maybe is 70% consistent. But it's all about how you use your time versus trying to achieve the exact schedule. And I think we have to play a game of improvisation with productivity and stray away from perfection in the same way that we do for content, for sales, for all these non-linear career paths. We have to stray away from this whole no, I can commit to it. And we have to understand that human beings, we're destined to be slightly inconsistent. And you know what? I would say very inconsistent. I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. And if I keep ignoring that how I feel tomorrow is going to take place and be an important variable in me determining my productivity, I will never succeed. How I feel is really important, and how I feel is going to depend every single day. And if I don't take that into account when creating a schedule, when creating a goal, when creating a plan, then the plan is not going to work. And I'm going to fail like I've been failing for the past 5 years. So my conclusion here is that originally I started this because I didn't even discover what I was trying to say, is with the idea that saying you're going to start tomorrow is a dumbass thing to do, because it is. You should start right now. If you feel it right now, like, time should not be a construct that limits you. And I've literally split my day into 3 days, and it's proven that this is the way to go. Now, what this has turned into is the idea that the secret reason we're always trying to have a New Year's resolution, we're secretly trying to reinvent ourselves, do all these things, is because we believe that we are inconsistent because of our habits. And we yearn for the day that we can magically turn into these consistent superheroes that work like a ChatGPT model and AI and just do things perfectly. And I don't remember a single day I've ever done that. And I think going with the flow and understanding the flow of how inconsistent we are is the missing piece, dude. Is the missing piece. I learned something today. I didn't even know that at the beginning of this video. I just learned something by talking about it. Who would have thought? That's kind of cool. Awesome.